We back, we back, we back. Welcome to another episode with your fourth man movement. We here, we back like we never left. The momentum is there. We hype, we excited. So we'll jump it off. It's your boy Terry Thomas. You know what it is. You know who I am, KCK. And let's move it along to Delion, man. How you doing, man? Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Ooh, it's going good, my brother. It's Thursday. I'm ready for this weekend to pop. Trying to see if I can get just a little bit of sleep. Been a little bit short on sleep, bro, but I'm doing good. It's daily on. Y'all can call me D. Thanks for having y'all in today.
Appreciate it, D. All right, ZT, what about you, man? Everything good?
Man, I'm surviving. I ain't gonna lie to you. Coming off the weekend in Philly, seeing Jay-Z, T.I., and so many others at the Roots picnic, came home just really inspired, really full of just Black love and excited, but also still dealing with headaches, but brother headaches. The work headaches, the family headaches, the extracurricular headaches, man. And so, it's always good to step away for a while. You get you get re-energized. But man, I'm telling you, I came back to some mess. But I'm here and I'm happy. I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited to share with everybody today.
Hey man, you coming back with Jay-Z with with the sneak diss to Drake. So
Oh man, and with the hair, I said maybe I should grow my stuff out, my boy.
last but not least, Stan Peasy, man. How's everything going in your world, man?
Hey man, my mom is gone. She went back home, so now the buffer is off. You know what I mean? So it's just me and Chanel with these kids, and life is crazy, bro. It's definitely hectic, but still blessed. Still surviving. I feel you on the sleep, D. With the newborn, she just turned 4 weeks today, so
That's amazing.
life is busy,
Congrats.
man. Life
That's
is
a
busy.
blessing.
ZT, I was gonna ask you, bro. We see all the spoofs and stuff online, the Jay's freestyle. But you was in Philly, you was in the building. Tell us what that was like to hear it in person, because everybody kind of making fun of his freestyle
I
and
know. I
stuff.
mean, we don't. I mean, I saw. I'll give you a little bit of background. I saw the post on IG. I've never been to a festival. I've heard of the Roots Picnic. Obviously I know who the Roots are, but I'm a big Jay fan, man. So it was, bro. I'm saying seeing Jay this sounds ridiculous. Sounds like I'm glazing. Whatever. It's spiritual. Right? But this was different. The only time I've only seen him in concert once was the 444 concert in Chicago. This was in Philly, which is so close to New Jersey, New York, all of his people. And so the love that you felt in that crowd of, 30,000 plus people, just word for word, bar for bar, and you seeing all, he put on for Philly. He brought out, Jasmine Sullivan, Meek Mill, Bilal, bringing out all, a lot of the people that he started with. Like it was amazing, man. It was, and he kept saying it's a beautiful day. Like, I don't know if I haven't seen a full recording. I've only seen clips, but he was like, it's a beautiful day. It's a perfect day. And it was, bro. It was like 75, clear sky, a full moon, and just love, like just Black love. Not a single fight, not a single, no mess, man. Just all of us around each other. Living in the Midwest, that's tough. It's really tough because you don't find a lot of that, man. It's when I'm around Black folk, it's like church. It's fraternity, or I got to go to the hood. Like, it's not, or or a lot of times it's just not you don't see that. Like, you don't see that level of love. And I appreciate him. I just appreciate the overall experience, the Roots, the live music. Questlove up there playing the drums, man. Cats out there with flutes and tubas dancing around, man. Meek Mill, the second to last performance, man. It was amazing, man. So I'm really heads down focused as a person, and I really struggle to get away and go do stuff for myself. I'm always focused on me. I'm always focused on the family. And I felt bad leaving. Like, I really did. I was like, maybe I should just cancel, and but I didn't. I went. I'm happy I went, and I came back full of energy, man. Like, even being tired, like, I'm off like multiple days of like 4 hours of sleep. But I'm energized and I'm motivated, and that's why. And I love, and what we do. I love what we do, and so I'm happy to be here and getting back to work, and just my personal stuff, professional stuff, and Jay just motivate. That's what he's always been for me. It's just, as a man, who do I need to be, and as a professional. And so seeing that $1 billion baby up there bouncing around with his hair with the fresh, with the fresh fro, man. Just made me say, all right, man, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna go a little bit harder.
Yeah, no, that's dope, bro. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that because a lot of people I feel like making fun of his freestyle. Obviously, they weren't there, and so the
I'm not.
recording looks one way, but like you was in the room, so I wanted to get your perspective. I
Nah,
thought that would be.
you can't replicate that. You can't replicate that love.
Mhm.
But I mean, some people all they can do is talk because they're not doing they're not chasing anything. They're not building anything. Their attention comes from talking. And
Mhm.
so, but no, you're not gonna deny. Not for me. It's an opinion based game, but you're not gonna deny, that he's the God MC. The best to ever do it for me. At least 28 of the 30,000 people that was there, because that was not. I've never felt that type of love, man. It was in their
Mhm.
veins, and they're from, they're obviously from where he's from, or from a lot closer, than us growing up in the Midwest and receiving that. So nah, man, you're not going. I heard the chit chat and I was like, but who are you? What albums have you dropped? How many number ones do you have? Like, when I start seeing people that have comparable, catalogs talking,
Mhm.
then I'll start paying attention. But
Yeah.
for the barbershop cat that has one SoundCloud song that nobody's ever heard, I don't respect your opinion on music. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah. Nah, that's real, bro. It's weird. It's like, cause Jay, he don't dance, you know what I'm saying? He don't really like do a whole lot, but he got an aura, bro. Like I've seen him perform live, and it's just like, man, like I went to the On the Run tour, too, you know what I'm saying, with Chanel. And I remember I was like, man, I don't know, who's the better performer? I'm like, I know Beyonce up there dancing and all that, but I'm like, Jay just stood there and bar for bar, the whole crowd, the whole Mercedes Benz Arena in Atlanta is going crazy.
Nah, that's
And
that's it though. That
it's a
you were
different
right. It's
feeling,
two
bro.
different. I've seen Beyonce. I've seen like Miguel. I've seen some amazing performers. Chris Brown, bro,
Mhm,
flipping and moonwalking and sliding all over that stage and coordinated dances. I've seen it all, but it's the love that comes from every crowd that I've been in from
mhm,
Jay is you can't replicate that. Like you can't. Again, bar for bar, the entire crowd is going bar for bar, even on his not popular stuff. It's not like he's doing, his top hits. He's doing some stuff from Reasonable Doubt. He's celebrating, 25 years,
mhm,
stuff from Blueprint, stuff from these old albums, and not the songs that made radio. So when you going bar for bar on the intro of of a 25-year-old, album, like
it's
that's just
different.
you can't. It's different. It's different,
Yeah,
man. I can't explain it again. I've seen all those people and amazing performances. And we saw him, this weekend, man. We saw Ti, we saw Brandy, Monica, Bilal, Erica Badu was the second night, and
mhm,
there was energy there and there was love there, but it was not the love that Jay had Friday night, man. And one of the things last thing I'll say is I've always felt like, man, living in the Midwest, it feels like we miss so much history. And
mhm,
there's all this crazy, stuff we talk about, but we don't have a basketball team. We do have a football team, but there's so much history that I feel like we miss, and things that aren't, you don't know what they're gonna be until they're that. Michael Jackson at Summer Jam,
mhm.
type stuff. And so this was one that was great to wake up, see the clips, and was like, nah, I was there. Like, nah, I
Yeah,
was there. This ain't something I'm having to experience through video that I'm gonna hear about. But nah, I was right there, squeezed my way to front, to the close to the front, and was right there experiencing it all in person.
man, that's dope, bro.
That is.
Man,
That's dope, bro.
Can't
Happy
beat
for you.
it.
yeah, can't beat it, man. Well, that's a good segue into the icebreaker for today, fellas. I want to stay in the lane of music. ZT, the last podcast you talked about a couple that they finishing each other's sentences and all that type of stuff, and then ultimately they didn't make it. And so that made me. And then we just came off of our event with Dr. Miles, the Covenant Within, super amazing. Appreciate everybody that showed up for that. And it got me thinking about before we was married. Back in the day, man, when you got your heart broke, what song did you play? What's your go-to?
Ah, man.
You know what I mean? On repeat, like. you blasting, you singing. So not our wives, you know, even though you know, I'm only talking about current day. You gotta think back in the catalog, like, and
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
you know,
Give us yours,
Yo, hold
and
on,
then
hold on, hold on.
I'll give me a second. I got a few. I got to figure out which one.
yeah, which one is appropriate to share, huh?
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
the perfect one for y'all, bro. Everybody listen to this. Usher Confessions.
Yeah,
That boy singing along in that boy.
100%.
Hey, boy, that Confessions came out. You didn't go through that. You was still singing it like you was
Oh
hurt,
yeah,
boy.
you ain't got no baby on the way. I'm feeling that mug, like.
Yeah, man, man.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Nah,
man.
so you know, people may not know this watching this, but me and T used to live together. And so I know some of his songs he gonna say because we played them bad boys like out loud. I actually asked Chanel this question, bro, before we hopped on the pod. 'Cause I was just curious, like, you know, and she don't remember a lot of her relationships in the past, but for some reason, bro, she remembers what she played when we broke up in high school. And so she played Just Fine by Chris Brown. And It's Complicated by Nivea. And so that was her her two songs. For me,
That's
bro,
all.
it's a good topic because it's like men understand it. Like, oh man, I definitely got a song. You know, we play Lenny Williams. You know, I love you, bro. How I don't know how how many times we didn't listen to that song, and
Repeat.
mine kind of escalates, bro, depending on like the nature of the breakup. You know what I mean? So it's like I got the Lenny Williams, I love you, cause I love you joint. Then you know I got the Go On Girl with Neo, you know, cause I put that on repeat. That's like the man's version of like irreplaceable for Beyonce, like to the left. And then you know, if she cheated on me, you know, I had to play that Mike Jones back in the day.
Endless pros.
And in the worst of them, bro, I played Zero. I Hate You.
Hey, that's literally all of mine. The one I throw in there too, P, that you missed. I'm surprised you didn't say it. Call Thomas. I wish I
Oh
never
yeah.
met her.
Oh yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
yeah, that's probably the one for me and all the ones that Stan said, literally in that order.
Man,
Bro,
look,
yeah.
mine's
Same playlist.
Chrisette Michelle, Blame It On Me. You know, cause I'm you know what? You gonna go tell your side of the story, but we know what really happened. We was in the room, and you know you gonna go tell these sob stories and have people falling, falling for your
Mhm.
mess. But I know for good and dang well, you know, I was a good partner. So Blame It On Me always resonated with me. All right, man. Yeah, cool. You gonna tell you I'm not even gonna explain it. I'm not gonna explain myself. I'm good. Blame It On Me. And you know, Usher Papers. I remember going through a breakup and my homeboy playing it out the blue, bro. He just started playing sad songs while
He knew what you was going through, bro.
I'm like, why are you doing this to me? Like, why are you doing
I
what?
got
I didn't
got
ask
an
for
ice
this.
box
But we
where my
taking
heart
shots.
used
We
to be.
taking shots, and he running them back one after another. I was like, man, if you don't get out my face,
Oh
I'm
man.
tired of this.
And CT out here crying in the car,
Yeah,
bro. Like,
man,
man, what's
yeah,
going
your
on?
boys, yeah,
Or
man.
Yeah, but now I knew that was gonna be a good one, bro. So I, appreciate y'all boys sharing. Well, I'm curious to see what other people think. You know, what's on their playlist because everybody got a song, bro, that got them through some rough times.
Nah, real
man,
talk.
Man. But no, so let's dive into the topic for today, man. So I just wanted to kind of tee it up for whoever wants to take it first, but we want to talk about, things that impact men on a daily basis or just things that kind of affect our everyday life. And so the concept of failure came up. And, I think it's so many layers to this conversation because there's like, the feeling of a failure, even though it's not real. Then you got like the actual, like, nah, I messed that up for sure. Like that can, that was the L. Like I legit took a L on that one. And then, for us, we talked about it in the group chat recently, but it's like, man, there's something about me and T joke about it. There should be a social experiment on like trying to get your friends to support your business. So if you've never run a business, you don't even understand what we're talking about. But it's like, man, there's nothing like, you giving your all, you putting everything into these messages, the programming and all that. And they left you on red, bro. At the end of the day, you like, man, I thought we was cool. Like, is it me? Is it Like, do I got bad signal? Like, what's going on? And so, but to experience what we had on Saturday, man, to see the turnout, over 24 people registered for the event. It was an amazing event. It was successful. Couples was, hitting us up afterwards like, bro, that was such a dope event, man. And we still talking about, some of the content and we building on that. And I'm like, man, what if we stopped in that feeling of like, man, it ain't working. You know what I mean? Like I'm DMing, we shooting videos, we, what I'm saying, got a buy one, get one promo, all the things you could think of. We we making them the champion of their story, the hero of their story, like you said, ZT, trying to teach us how to, center that. And it was still like, nah, I'm good. So I want to talk about failure today, Brent, and pushing beyond failure because, if you stay in that, then I think that's the only way you really fail, right? Like they say, the only way you fail is if you stop, if you quit. And for us, we encourage each other. Hey, man, look, we still got to keep going. We still got to record the pod. Still got to get this out. So whoever wants to kick us off, like just talk about the concept of failure, maybe something that you've experienced and you had to overcome personally, and just kind of encourage the listeners, man, to like practical ways to overcome that feeling.
Yeah, but I could take this one, man. Especially, coming from a sports background, it's either you win or you fail, basically. Right. So but failure is we look at it negatively, just depending on how we place it. For the most part, when it came to sports, I didn't see it as a failure. It's not really a failure. It's just an opportunity to see where you can enhance your skills. So that next time that this opportunity comes up, you'll have a better chance of succeeding. That's really what failure is. I think that at such a young age, you get taught by like quizzes and tests that you take throughout school.
Mhm.
It's either you got it or you don't, right? And it's like, no, that's not real life. Real life is about building skills. If you're not good at it, that just means you need to spend a little bit more time enhancing that skill. So
Mhm.
whatever you're not working on, you're regressing in. So that's the concept of failure to me. It's just
Mm.
you're regressing because you're not progressing.
No, that's good, D. How's it showing up for you recently? Like, if you had to think about, the last few years, what like personal interactions have you had with failure, and like, how did you work through that?
Oh yeah, man. These last couple of years, I've always wanted to do something more in the physical aspect. Tried doing the trainer, the personal trainer thing. I never ended up finishing that. I got all of the tools, I got all of the knowledge, but never actually took the initiative to push forward. And I thought it was because I'm missing something.
Mm.
And through this podcast, through growing what it is that we growing, and it's like, all right, I got people that are counting on me. Like, I gotta get this done. Like, I
Mhm.
gotta get these things done. And it's no longer just about myself. Like, when you make it not about just you, all of a sudden you start to see the importance of getting stuff done. What do they say all the time? You want something done? Give it to a busy person.
Mhm.
Period. So
Yep.
Yeah, D. Hey, I'm with you on that. Sports background too, and then make that more relatable for people out there that's like with everything that's going on with the economy, like layoffs. It's like one of them things where like what the other side looks like. Obviously, we all had jobs, but man, when you go through that phase of job lets you go, you don't have nothing lined up. It's no plan B. It's no, hey, I'm gonna roll with this other option instead. Uh, and I've been there before, so I think just to tie that into what we talking about is just like when in them hard moments, knowing it's hard, but you got to keep interviewing, you got to keep sharpening up your resume.
Mm.
At the end of the day, you're gonna find something. You're gonna find something you want. You're gonna find something you want to do. And losing your job, it isn't a failure. It's just a stepping stone to where God wants you to go next. So I just think that's all relatable into what we all going through with sports and everything like that. And just know that like, hey, there's something good on the other side.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead,
mean,
ZT.
I mean, but base similar. I've only been I've quit every job, most jobs. So if I'd have left on my own terms. But I have had a couple times where I was laid off, and that those are the only two times I was ever let go.
Mhm.
And recently, this was just a couple years ago. But I was doing contract work, and I was also flipping houses on the side, and I had a Jobish moment. Like there's no other way for me to explain it. I'm killing it, and I've always identified as a provider for my family. and that's part of my identity. And I'm an excellent provider. I'm not going, like that. That's the way I'm trying to move. I try to make sure that my family has everything they need and most of what they want, and so I really push for that. And so I get into the situation where all of a sudden these crazy expenses start coming up, and it's like eating at my savings. And so I'm doing contract IT work, but I'm also flipping houses on the side, and so I end up getting this house, and it cost me way more than it should have. I really should have backed out. And but I go into it just thinking like, oh, I've always succeeded before. It's always worked out. Even if what I'm doing doesn't make sense, it's always worked out. I always find a way. And right after I signed on this house, I get let go from my contract out of the blue. So they decide they want to go a different direction. They gut the entire department, move a couple people away, move a couple of people around, and then the house is going crazy, man. We finding all sorts of issues, stuff that we hadn't anticipated, and so the cost of the house is going up. And so now I don't have income anymore, and also this house is out of control, with the repairs and stuff that are going on, and I hit rock whatever's under rock bottom. I was I was there. I was under the rock.
Low,
I was
the
yeah, I was
lowest of
low.
lows.
I was low, man, and that this will, I think when I look back at failures, because I failed in sports, I failed to make to not get to state, in wrestling, or not win state, or not win the state championship in football or whatever. But I've done those as individuals. This was a failure as a man to my family, and as a provider for my family. And I didn't handle it well, and so I was doing it, because here's the hard thing about failure is your effort doesn't always show in your results. So some of us are busting our ass.
Yeah.
And that effort that we're putting in is not always showing in the results that are coming out. And so, I mean, you see, we in the NBA finals. There's only 2 teams left. I can't say that all those other teams were slacking. Like I can't say that OKC or Golden State or anybody wasn't showing up to their workouts, wasn't working on their skills or any of those things. But there's only 2 teams left, and so the rest of them, failed to reach the finals, and only one's going to prevail. And so that was what was going on. It's like, man, I work hard. I get up early. I stay up late. I read, and on the other side, the religious part of it, which was tough. You going through this and everything's being taken away from you, and you work so hard, and my savings is dwindled, and now it's gone. And now I'm dipping into investments accounts, and and I'm not able to find any work, and I've always been able to find work, and this house is not working. I had to sell it at a loss. And I feel like I'm failing my family, man. And so there's the other part of that of like, bro, God, what are you doing? Do something, ref. Like, I know you see me, bro. I know you hear me every night.
He
Every
noticed me,
night.
ref.
I
He
know you hear
fouling me, man. Come on, man.
Come
Throw the
on.
ball. You don't even want to play no
Come
more.
on, man. Like, bro, you can't even give me a little encouragement, something. Like, do something. Do something. So, like,
And God
and
quiet
so
in these
it was,
seasons too,
bro,
bro.
it was. I don't know if you really know God if you ain't been through like the bottom of the bottom, and because it's not always felt, sometimes it's death or it's these other places, but and you feel like he's silent, and you don't understand why he's doing what he's doing for you, and you're watching other people win that aren't doing what you're doing. Like, bro, I'm going to church. I'm paying these tithes. I'm working in the church. Like, I'm volunteering. I'm raising my family. I'm not doing anything. I ain't in the streets. I ain't got nothing going on the side. Like, I'm just trying to be a good man, and you're failing. Like, what do you mean, bro? What do you mean? Like, and you're used to succeeding. You're used to succeeding. And so it was some dark times, man. I got a little like a little side table. It sits in my basement, and I broke it at some point. I was so just angry with God specifically, and I remember. And I'm not always an act out anger person, but I remember just taking this side table and slamming it and just beating my hands on it, like, just crying out, like, what are you, bro? Come on, Like, come on. Like, I've been here, I've been praying, like, I've been doing what I'm supposed to do, and you're not answering. You're not there. Like, what, like, you're not providing. Like, but he is providing, because we didn't lose anything for real. I lost a lot of money. But, our house is still here.
Yeah.
We ain't missed no meals. My car didn't get repoed. None of those things happened. And so I would say there are those failures that are, I mean, just gut wrenching, and they really deal with you and your identity. Like, I understand athletes crying. I was the crying athlete. Like, I was the bro. I went to summer camp. I lifted weights. Bro. I went to
Yeah.
bro, I trained all year. I
You
trained,
did everything I was supposed to do.
well, I did everything I was supposed to do, and you mean to tell me that I didn't even place it?
Look,
I didn't even place. Like,
Bro,
I wasn't even
See?
forced.
didn't even sniff a trophy.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's funny because we kind of obviously we kick around, kind of what we're thinking of subjects, and
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there thinking of which L am I even, because I've taken so many of them,
Oh man.
and you can't tell from my life
Mm-hmm.
unless you was there and you know me and you went through it. You're not gonna look at my life and see failure.
Yep.
So, that experience and so many others have taught me to. Um, the Walls Group has a song, and I think it's called "Satisfied," but it says essentially it's saying is God's still God when you're not successful. When you didn't win the Grammy, when you didn't get the job, when you didn't win the game, when you didn't get to
Yep.
the championship, when things didn't work out, you didn't make it to that marriage, that relationship ended up in a breakup. Is He's still God?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have exactly what you want from him, and though you go through those types of experiences. And so to T's point, sorry to belabor, but you learn, and I had to dig deep. I had to say, where am I failing as a man? Because I can't blame. Yeah, a lot of things were out of my hand, but it wasn't all out of my hand. I made mistakes. There were things that I didn't do. I didn't have the right amount of savings. I didn't wasn't brushing up on my skills and trying to look at what's next. Was carrying too much debt and living in that space of like the money's always gonna come. The same way these NFL and NBA players been doing, because it's always happened. I've always
Right.
found a way. So one is being honest with yourself and being, I mean, like, transparent with yourself, bro. Where are you failing?
Mm-hmm.
And then just going through it, man. I'm a firm believer in keep swinging. Like, bro, you struck out 9 times, but it's the bottom of the ninth, and you up to bat the 10th time. Like, there's still a game to be played, and so that's how I got through that, and that's how I've gotten through so many failures. Is, bro, I just keep swinging, and I dig deeper. There's always more. This is the last thing I'll say. Kobe kind of late in his career. I remember him training with, I believe it was Dikembe Mutombo. And I'm like, bro, Kobe's already the GOAT. Like, you already got multiple championships. You're already amazing, as a player. And he's still reaching out to other players and saying, Michael Jordan jokes all the time, but Kobe will not stop calling me.
Yeah, he's
He's
bothering
always
me.
calling me and asking me about game situations and skills things. And then I'm looking at this thing, and Kobe's like, yeah, Dikembe Mutombo was like, yeah, he called me to train with him. And he's teaching, and I'm learning his post game and things like that from a retired, older player.
Mm-hmm.
And he taught me, man, like, there's always another level, and we get complacent, and complacent is the enemy, man. And that's maybe what I needed to go through. Is like, I was happy because I was at a certain point, and I'm doing better than a certain number of people, and
Yep.
and my family's happy, and things are going well. But no, there was another level that I could go to as a man, as a provider, as everything, and
Mm-hmm.
so, and I had to go on that journey, and it's unfortunate, but sometimes we need the fire, we need the pressure, we need all those things. Pressure McDonald, you know what I'm saying? And so we need those things, and it's terrible. I hate it. I hate that that's how life works. 'Cause I can't just read the book all the time and be like, aha, I
Yeah.
got it, man. But I went through I've been through some failures, man, and I I I always say I thank God for him. I thank God for the failures, because I know I'm not the man. That had to be the way. I needed to be
Mm-hmm.
put under that pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to lose things. I needed to have things pruned off of me so that those new branches could grow. And and coming off of that, because that was actually a recent experience. We're still digging out of it, but just growing. When you win it, of course, it's terrible. But
Yeah.
I'm being on
Yeah.
been on the other side. He's like, what, man, I thank God I had to, I had to go through breakups, to get to being the man I needed to be for my wife. I had to go through these other jobs to be the man I needed to be on this job or for this business that I own. And so it's a tough subject, man. I know we've all taken them, and I think the real difference in where people are in life, there, there's discipline for sure, but there's endurance, perseverance. Those are very important. And there's a whole lot of people who have potential, but they never endured. They never persevered, and they never made it through and never passed those tests, and they never got to the right space.
Hey, that ties into what's the phrase say? God give the strongest battles to the strongest soldiers.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'll say, God, I don't know. I'm kind of in the back.
I'm trying to get off this plan. I didn't sign up for this, bro. Like I signed up.
Hey,
I
God, I
just
just
signed
bought
up
this
for the
car.
strongest soldier.
I ain't that strong.
Bro, let's chill, bro. Can I get a year? Every year, I'm like, hey, get me on the discount plan. Can we just have some smooth sailing for a little bit? But you never gonna go. You never gonna get there, man. You're never. The breaking has to happen. You
Has
never
to.
gonna get where you want to go. Dia tell you when you're lifting, your muscles are tearing, and they're stronger because they're building back stronger than they were before they tore. And that's just how it is, man. Like you got to go through the tearing, you got to go through the breaking to build back stronger and to be stronger and to learn and to have those lessons burned into your brain, of what I'm not going to do next time. And so, yeah, man, that strongest soldier plan is it's not it is not great, man. It's not great, but
I'm on the front.
the
I'm squeaky in
results
the
are
middle.
great. The journey the journey is something else.
Oh man, yeah, bro. One of my favorite sayings is like everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I feel like. ZT, we got people all the time tell us like, man, I want to be like y'all. I'm like, brother.
Bruh, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, I've been on this weight loss journey and stuff, bro. I was up. The discipline has to be there. I was up at 4 a.m. yesterday, getting a workout in, did a 30-minute hit, just to make sure I did not miss a day.
Yeah,
Bro, you don't want that. Like, no, you don't. Like, you don't really want that. Like,
yeah.
some people do and some people will do it. But when
Mhm.
I tell you what it takes, Kevin Hart, everybody want to be famous, but don't nobody want to put the work in, man. You don't, bro.
Yeah.
You don't want what I have, because you got to make the payment.
Yeah.
You want the whip, but the
Mhm.
whip got a payment.
And that
And
maintenance
are
is
you?
crazy,
Yeah.
100%.
bro. ZT, nah, but I want to stay there though for a little bit because I'm fortunate enough, to be your brother, and so I remember because I was going through a storm at
Yeah.
that same
Yeah.
time. And so, me and Chanel had just moved to Savannah. Our youngest at the time, he was only 6 months old, bro. We left the whole village behind. Chanel supported me. She's like, "Yo, let's move." And so everybody's on board, man. We get to Savannah, and bro, all hell breaks loose. And it's like, I just remember having them conversations around, like, all right, God, I know how I got the job. Like everything was lined up for me. That only could have been you. Like only
Right.
you could have made that happen the way that it happened. And now I'm here, and I'm like, yo, where you at? You still in Kansas City? Like, what's going on? I'm waiting. You know what I mean? And so, like, bro, when I tell you, and I'm hearing y'all talk, it's giving me like some language to share with the audience around these failures because, like, D, you talk about sports. That's like a quick, like, all right, we lost. I can bounce back real quick. I got a chance to win tomorrow. Bro, I'm talking about like seasons of failure. Like, and I'm talking like every lever I pulled in the past that used to work ain't working. You know what I mean? Like, you like, all right, cool. I'll just go pull that from my 401k. Nope.
Yeah.
Drain.
You know what? Well, that's cool because I always got a little something in the savings.
Nope.
It ain't there. And I remember, bro, my perspective, which is why the fourth man movement is so powerful to me, because now I'm in this. I feel like I'm in this, space where I'm 1,000 miles away from my people. I know I can pick up the phone and call y'all at any time, but it felt so lonely, bro. And I'm talking about like now I'm experiencing these L's, and it's one thing when they private, it's another one when your spouse see that you losing too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? She looking like, yo, I don't want to be on the Browns no more. I want to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
to the Rams and win a championship. This look like a losing team. And you like, nah, but God, like, and the whole time, bro, I'm just continuing to say, like, God, like, placed us here. We here for a reason. And she like, yo, we about to go back to Kansas City, like me and the kids. You figure it out. And I'm like, man, but my perspective, even of you, ZT, during that time was like, man, ZT flipping houses. He out here doing contract work. Like, I know my boy ain't going through nothing like this. You know what I mean? And I'm assuming, and this happens so often, bro. I'm like, oh, my boy is doing great. If only I could have a little bit of what ZT got going on right now, I'd be winning. And little did I know, bro. I still remember that phone call. I was actually standing like right outside the house. We both bought our new houses like around the same time. And I'm telling you, like, bro, like everything in my mind coming from where we come from, growing up where we grew up, I'm like, bro, I didn't like this is it. To your point, you talked about being complacent. I'm like, yo, we made it. And guys like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't what I built you for. This isn't like the end goal. You know what I mean? And so I think we got to a place where God had to challenge what was on the inside, the stuff that people don't see. And in those deepest valleys, bro, my character was built. Now I know whether the account is full or the account is empty or overdrawn or something declined, I'm able to still see God in all of it. Cause it's like, you know what? Hey, me and my wife, now we actually got a better relationship. Now she trusts me in the highs and the lows. And so it's like before it, like you said, bro, it was only up from here. That was my thought. I'm like, look,
Yeah.
I'm young, I'm climbing, I'm just gonna continue to climb. I'm doing all the stuff. I'm waking up early, I'm reading, I'm working out. Surely the results will show that we a championship team.
Yeah.
And my wife wanted to bounce, bro. I mean, and not, I'm not putting it all on her either, because I mean, it wasn't great. Like our training facilities were not up to par.
He said, I would have left too if I could.
If I could. So I'm like, did we make the right decision? But man, it's something about when you're in that season of failure versus like just a moment of failure. Cause it's like, hey, I made a mistake, my bad. You go to sleep at night, no problem. It's like, all right, God, my prayer is a little different now. It's like we've been in this storm for a long time. Like we've been scratching and clawing. Some point the tide got to turn. Like I'm just asking you, you know what I mean? Your prayers just start changing. Like
Yeah.
God, just a season of, you know what I'm saying, where we ain't got to worry about this or that. And man, just to kind of come out on the other side of that now, where you like, okay, the stuff that people are seeing now, bro, was built in the valley. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not at the mountaintops. Like, so when you see Chanel's store, Nelly's grocery and wine, getting ready to open, bro, that's amazing. But we would not, I repeat, we would not be in a position to do that had we not gone through what people would consider failure before, and really looked ourselves in the mirror and say, all right, yes, then you do have a problem with spending. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You make good money, but you spend some good money too. And I just took it for granted, bro. I thought that it was gonna always be more of it. I got on this like cadence of like, well, next year I'll get a promotion or I'll start this business it was like something I took for granted, if I'm being honest with you, bro. And so that was different for me.
Yeah, I
I mean
like that, bro.
1,000%, man, and I agree. I still remember that. Say it's funny because we both have the same perspective. Is you looking at part of it is you don't want to show that vulnerability, and that's why when y'all you and T pitched the idea for the fourth man movement. I still remember the first question you asked me was, was anybody there for you? Because I was I don't want to say on the other side of it because I took a huge hell. it was a long climb. I'm in the valley, so it's a long climb out the valley onto the mountain. And then back up the mountain. And so I was at least on the other side of the deepest part of that valley. And your first question was anybody there to support you? And fortunately and unfortunately, I did have a frat brother who had also lost his job and was going through some stuff. So there was at least somebody who understood what I was going through. But the feeling of loneliness was present as well. I felt like I'm the only one going through this, and nobody's gonna save you. I just and so that's what it was. It's like I'm fighting and clawing, but nobody's gonna save me. And so that's why I'm leaning on God. Like, hey, like there's nobody that can save me but you. And it was tough, man. But so then when you came up with the idea, or y'all pitched the idea of the fourth man movement, I think I missed a couple of the first few sessions, didn't really understand what it was, and then I came in, and the iron sharpened iron, and the honesty and the vulnerability, and you like, wait a second, so y'all going through this too, like y'all wives are tripping too, like y'all kids are forcing you to cuss them out too.
Thought that was just my household.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a lot of that, man. Men we don't have that space. We don't have that space. Some of it is because we don't, we're just taught to be tough and masculine, and we always got to put on a face. So yeah, I'd agree. Very few people, very very few people know I was going through it, because I kept having to put on the face, and I kept, I might be crying at night, but in the daytime, I'm still out. I was still out in front, like trying to show strength and trying to show that everything is fine and we're good. And same thing, my wife, she's ready to go too. Because it just got that bad, and my attitude turned, and and so yeah, man, I think that it just goes into why we need each other. We need support. We need brothers, people that we can be honest to. Even when we kicked off the pod, like, we need to be able to say it, bro. Like, it can't be every time I see you, hey, how's everything going? Everything good, bro. Come on, like, because it's not. It's not good. It's not good. A
Actually,
matter
it's
of fact,
hard.
you will be surprised how often, if you call your brothers with sincerity, hey, no, really, how are you doing? You will be surprised at the conversations you have, because we're not all doing good. We're just taught that we need to show that strength, that we need to always at least seem like we're doing good. And that's difficult, man. And I appreciated the conversation. We had a long conversation, and we had follow-ups. But I appreciated that, of somebody, I was like, oh man, so you looking up to me, I'm looking up to you. And we
That's a
both
fact.
and
That's
we
a
both
fact.
realized, like, we was both in the valley. You was just on the other side of the river. Like,
Yeah.
I was on the other side of a little stream. Like,
Oh, bro.
I want to stay
so
on. I want to stay on that same stream because ZT, I didn't know you at the time, but we talking about vulnerability. We'll take it back a few years, back to when Stan and Terry were both roommates down here, bro. Stan literally had helped me get a job where he was working at, bro, because I was doing mortgage, moved to this. Bro, I was barely there for 3 weeks, got laid off. Not to mention, my son is 2 years old at the time, bro. Like, I'm going through it, family stuff at home. Like, I was sleeping on my boy's couch, trying to drive back and forth to work, bro. Like, it's like you said, bro, this fourth man movement is really about having those people around you, checking up on you, making sure that you straight for real. But like these two dudes plus, one of our best friends who's not on here, Philando, bro, they held me down, bro. I didn't have a dime. I didn't have nothing. I'm just trying to make everything work for my son who's barely can talk at the time, sleeping on my mom's couch. You know what I mean? Like, so I understand when people talk about like failure, bro, it felt like failure. Like I failed my son. I failed my relationship at that time. I done failed my mom. I can't even provide for nobody. Barely got the money to be able to do what I need to do for myself. You know what I mean? So, having those people around you, bro, like these men never look down on me, bro. Like I'm coming with them. They just like, yo, we about to go get something to eat. I'll be like, yo, I ain't got it. Who said you needed money? You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
having those people around you, bro, like that's the part that helps you get past what you think is failure. Because it's not truly failure. You know what I'm saying? It's just about having that strong support and that community around you. No matter who it is, they don't gotta be family. You gotta have strong people around you that are gonna be there to support you. You know what I mean? As soon as I got back on my feet, bro, they didn't say not a word. Hey, y'all boys get dressed. Yo, we going out. It's all on me. You know what I'm saying? I
I
need to
should
pay
be.
them
That's
back.
how it should be.
You know what I'm saying? For like holding me down at that time. Like
Yeah.
you said, ZT, when you went back to it, that feeling as a man part, that really hit me, and I felt like I needed to share this. Same thing with you, Stan. I know, you were there. You went through that storm, bro. And when I tell y'all, like, my boy Stan and Terry have seen the darkest and the lightest sides of me, and they still here till today. That's why I respect them. ZT, I know we just now starting to get the vibe, but bro, I got nothing but love for you, my brother. Like I'm trying to keep this thing growing, and that's what this community is really about. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we all go through this stuff, but us as men, sometimes we don't even know where to go to talk about it. You
Mm.
know what I mean? Like the fourth man movement, that's what this is for. Come somewhere so that you can actually be heard. Come somewhere so you can actually be supported. Come somewhere where you can actually get some stuff off your chest and actually start getting answers to it. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, and I
It-
think that reciprocation that you talked about is also a great point. We're not gonna delve into it. Man, you do have those guys and you try to iron sharpens iron. Like both of us should be getting sharper. And
Yep.
so we should all be contributing. And so it does come to those times when those there are people there to listen to you there that are there to support you, but never forgetting that. Don't
And
forget who was there when you needed to sleep on somebody's couch and be, and learn how to reciprocate, learn how to be thankful, learn how to be grateful. I think that just takes you so much further in life. And just like you said, if it's nothing but, once I got on my feet that I paid for the drinks that night, or they were there when I was going through my relationship stuff,
mhm.
when I listening to Usher and Papers. I need to be there when they and when they got something that's, I want to, I want them to call me and be like, hey, now I need to vent. And you like, hey man,
Yeah,
I ain't trying to hear that today.
yeah,
I think that's a great point, D man. That reciprocation is something that's lost on a lot of people. That when you are down and you do have those folks that are there, making sure that you're paying that back and you're not burning those bridges by being ungrateful and forgetting, those people that were there supporting you.
yeah, I think we just grew up as always being taught to be the best, right? Always handle things on your own. Do this by yourself. You're on a team, you're on a basketball team. Are you scoring the most points? You got the most rebounds. It's always who's at the top. It's never about like somebody uplifting you. Somebody got to pass you the ball to shoot it, right? So nobody talks about that part, and I think it's so important. Like you said, D, like man, when you at the bottom, and those people that was there for you, like no matter what it could have been, man, it could have been advice, it could have been a few dollars, it could have been, what I'm saying, a ride to the store. No matter what it was, that person was there for you when you needed it the most. And our community is a reflection of that too because what I'm saying, me and Stan, when we live together, we had people stay with us, and it was never one of them things like, hey, if I fall bad on my luck, I got you. So that reciprocation thing, which y'all said, is so important. But the thing where people miss is I never spoke on it. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
So the fact that you think that I need that back, I don't. This is for your season, and I'm here for a reason. So when I go through what I go through, I'm I'm all right. In my mind, I'm all right. I
Yeah.
don't want you to think, hey, tit for tat. Hey, you push me, so I'm gonna push you back.
Yep.
Nah, you was my brother. I held you down. And when I'm down, if I need you, cool. If I don't, you ain't about to be the first person I call. Hey, remember when I did this?
yeah,
Yeah.
So, yep.
yep.
Yeah, bro. That's such a gem for real. Cause I remember I was in college still, but I remember KG told me this, ZT. He was just like, man, you really like once you realize like the bottom isn't really like the bottom, you'll be completely like you'll be fine. Like at the end of the day, bro, I can find somebody's couch to sleep on. Now, will it be embarrassing for me and my family? Yes. Will it take a lot of shame, and stuff for me to get over my ego and say, hey man, this is the situation. But I got so many people I can call on. And that's the real blessing. Like that's when you find out like, man, you know what? God is with me through all of it. You know what I mean? Because and that's the thing me and T struggle with is verbalizing that I need help. Cause like you said, ZT, it's like, man, nobody coming to help me out, bro. Like they not coming to save me. So what's the point of me saying something? And I know so many men struggle with that same thing of like, what's the point of me even saying it, bro? Like I opened up to my closest homie, told him what was going on, and he see how my life look, and he like, okay, like I remember I had a call with one of our frat brothers, and he was like, Oh, he I know he meant it as like a joke, but it really he still didn't help me though. So he was so he's like "Oh, boo-hoo, Stan got 2 houses and, like, he just got it so bad out here." And I'm like, "I do, bro." Like, I mean, I get this really it's but anyway, man, it's a funny thing to, like, try to verbalize that, but also I think about because it's Men's Health, Awareness Month in June, and so I think about the men that don't have anybody to go to, bro, like, genuinely fighting this, and because a lot of what we talking about, bro, we internalize. It's not like we going around and somebody's like calling us a failure per se. This is like I feel like I failed my family. Like ZT said, I feel like I failed as a husband. I feel like I failed as a father. Like these are feelings I have. These ain't nothing. Nobody ever like came up to me and said, "Hey, man, deadbeat." I'm having this conversation with myself, but I think about so many people, bro, that like they deal with this stuff silently, and then we don't know that they battling it because again, ZT, if we can have that perception of each other and we close, just imagine what the perception is of these other people that are like, oh man, $100 million contract. Ain't no way he depressed. Ain't no way he would do something like that, to harm himself. Like, but it happens way too often. So something is going on. So again, man, like not to be on the soapbox too much, but community is so important, or at least have somebody, man, that you can keep it real with and say, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.